You're listening to the Bare Metal Cyber Prepcast, created to help you succeed in your Security Plus certification journey. Learn more at baremetalcyber.com, where additional prepcasts, books, and training materials await. Let's get started. The overarching goal of a security awareness program is to reduce human-driven risk by shifting behavior, strengthening incident reporting, and encouraging procedural compliance. Technology alone cannot secure an organization. People remain both a frontline defense and a common vulnerability. Effective awareness programs aim to empower staff so they recognize threats, respond appropriately, and act in ways that reduce exposure. The objective is not simply to transfer knowledge, but to drive measurable change in how employees behave when faced with phishing emails, sensitive data, or unusual requests. A strong program transforms security from an abstract concept into daily practice. Audience segmentation is essential because different groups face different threats and learning needs. Executives are prime targets for business email compromise and require concise, risk-framed training. Developers need secure coding and dependency management modules. Finance staff face payment fraud and require strong process discipline. Contractors need tailored, short-term modules focused on least privilege and data handling. By segmenting into cohorts such as managers, frontline staff, or IT administrators, organizations can deliver targeted, relevant content rather than one-size-fits-all training. This approach reduces wasted time and ensures every group learns the specific skills required to mitigate their unique risks. Before designing content, organizations must establish a baseline assessment. This involves measuring current awareness levels, analyzing incident reports to determine human error causes, reviewing phishing simulation click and report rates, and assessing training completion data. For example, if data shows that 40% of phishing simulations result in clicks but only 10% are reported, the baseline is clear. Staff need improvement in both recognition and reporting behaviors. Baselines allow programs to set evidence-driven goals and track progress, ensuring the awareness effort is not guesswork but rooted in real performance data. Learning objectives must be clear, specific, and measurable for each cohort. A general objective might be reduce phishing vulnerability, but for finance staff it could be reduce phishing click rate by 20% within 90 days while doubling the reporting rate. For executives, objectives may focus on increasing timely escalation of suspicious requests. Objectives transform vague aspirations into actionable targets. This focus allows progress to be measured, gaps to be identified, and success to be celebrated. Without explicit objectives, programs risk becoming generic compliance exercises rather than targeted interventions with measurable outcomes. Governance and ownership are crucial for sustaining awareness programs. Assigning a senior sponsor ensures visibility and executive support. A program manager drives day-to-day operations and coordination, while specific owners are assigned for content development, delivery platforms, and metrics tracking. For instance, IT security may own simulation design, HR may own communication plans, and the program manager coordinates all moving pieces. Without clear ownership, accountability can falter, and programs lose momentum. Governance ensures the program is structured, well-supported, and aligned with broader organizational risk management. Curriculum design should follow proven learning principles. Content must be role-relevant, spaced over time, delivered in digestible microlearning formats, and focused on driving behaviors, rather than only imparting information. For example, a developer curriculum may consist of quarterly labs on secure coding, while general staff receive monthly 5-minute phishing spot checks. Spaced repetition keeps concepts fresh, and behavior-focused design emphasizes actions like reporting suspicious emails over passive knowledge. This design philosophy increases retention and maximizes impact, turning training into an active part of workflows rather than an annual checkbox. Content delivery should use varied formats matched to the audience and objective. Short videos may engage general staff, interactive labs fit technical teams, and one-pagers or posters reinforce lessons at a glance. In-app tips provide contextual guidance when risky actions are attempted. Manager-led briefings create a culture of accountability within teams. For example, placing phishing recognition job aids in email clients reinforces daily vigilance. By diversifying channels and matching delivery to context, organizations prevent fatigue and increase the odds that guidance is noticed, remembered, and applied. Programs should integrate seamlessly with technical controls to close the loop between human behavior and system defenses. For example, phishing training should be paired with real simulations, a one-click reporting button, and automated containment workflows that disable compromised accounts. When users report suspicious emails, SOC teams can validate, respond, and update filters. Linking awareness directly to controls reinforces training. Users see their reports trigger real protective actions. This integration builds trust in the system and proves that reporting is not just symbolic, but a meaningful defensive act. Measurement and KPIs provide the evidence of effectiveness. Metrics might include phishing report rates, the click-to-report ratio, how many people report versus fall for phish, training completion and competency scores, remediation times after user reports, and attitude or knowledge survey improvements. For example, if report rates increase by 50% while click rates decrease, the program's impact is clear. Metrics should be tracked by cohort to highlight high-risk groups needing more support. Robust measurement prevents security awareness from being dismissed as soft, and instead shows it delivers quantifiable results. Privacy, ethics, and HR coordination are vital to avoid undermining trust. Phishing simulations and monitoring should be conducted ethically, never designed to humiliate or punish individuals. Employee privacy must be protected, with simulation results anonymized or aggregated where possible. HR and legal teams must be involved to ensure fairness and alignment with workplace policies. For example, repeated failures may trigger targeted coaching rather than disciplinary measures. Programs framed positively encourage engagement, while punitive approaches breed resentment and avoidance. Ethics underpin the credibility and sustainability of awareness programs. Stakeholder engagement is critical for success. HR brings expertise in communications and employee learning. Legal ensures compliance. IT manages the technical delivery. And communications ensures messaging is consistent and supportive. Business leaders must also be engaged to secure resources and model desired behaviors. For instance, if executives participate visibly in simulations and training, it signals that awareness is a leadership priority, not just an IT requirement. Broad stakeholder alignment ensures programs are resourced, credible, and embedded into organizational culture. A practical starting point is to draft a 90-day pilot plan for one high-risk cohort such as finance staff. The plan should include a primary KPI, for instance, reducing phishing click rates by 25%. Target content may consist of 3 microlearning modules and 1 phishing simulation campaign. A communication plan should prepare managers to reinforce messages. Metrics will include click and report rates, and ownership should be assigned to the program manager, society, and HR. A single executive sponsor should oversee the pilot. At the end of 90 days, metrics are collected, evaluated, and used to refine the program before wider rollout. By the end of Part 1, learners should understand that awareness programs succeed when they are structured like any other business initiative, with goals, governance, evidence-based baselines, tailored curricula, ethical design, and measurable KPIs. With this foundation, Part 2 will explore rollout sequencing, reinforcement strategies, simulations, feedback loops, and governance practices that sustain security awareness as a living, evolving program. For more cyber-related content and books, please check out cyberauthor.me. Also, there are other prepcasts on cybersecurity and more at baremetalcyber.com. Rolling out an awareness program should follow a deliberate sequence. Most organizations start with a pilot in one high-risk group to refine content, cadence, and measurement. Lessons from the pilot are then applied during phased expansion, gradually including additional cohorts. Only after refinements are validated should the program scale to enterprise-wide adoption. For example, starting with finance may reveal gaps in phishing simulations that can be corrected before the same scenario is run company-wide. Sequenced rollouts prevent overwhelming resources and improve credibility by demonstrating evidence-based adjustments at each stage. Reinforcement strategies keep awareness from fading between training cycles. Just-in-time nudges are short reminders triggered by risky actions such as a pop-up when a user tries to send sensitive files externally. Periodic micro-quizzes test retention in minutes rather than hours. Manager talking points provide natural reinforcement in team meetings, while inline tooltips inside applications remind users of policies without interrupting workflow. For example, an email client might display a subtle warning banner when replying to external contacts. These reinforcements make secure behavior part of daily operations rather than a once-a-year exercise. Simulations, particularly phishing tests, must follow best practices to be effective and ethical. Templates should be realistic enough to reflect current attacker tactics, but never manipulative or punitive. Difficulty should vary, with easy examples for baseline assessment and harder ones to challenge experienced staff. When a user fails a simulation, clear remediation coaching should follow immediately, highlighting missed indicators and how to report correctly next time. The focus must remain on learning, not embarrassment. By designing simulations ethically, organizations maintain trust while still driving measurable behavior change. Feedback loops ensure the program evolves with input from learners and operational data. Employee feedback highlights whether training feels relevant or useful. SOC inputs provide intelligence on real incidents, ensuring curriculum aligns with current threat vectors. Incident data, such as causes of breaches or near misses, should also feed into content updates. For example, if QR code phishing becomes prevalent, a new module should be added. Feedback loops make awareness programs dynamic, ensuring content stays fresh and detection coverage aligns with evolving risks. Success criteria must be defined clearly for leadership reporting. Executives require compact metrics that summarize progress, such as trends in phishing click and report rates or survey results on employee confidence. SOC and operations teams need operational dashboards with alert response metrics tied to user reporting. Reporting cadence should balance visibility with focus monthly for executives and real-time dashboards for society. For example, executives may see a quarterly summary that phishing clicks fell by 30%, while society uses daily dashboards to triage user-reported emails. Tailoring metrics ensures stakeholders get what they need without overload. Accessibility and localization make awareness programs equitable across geographies and abilities. Training content should be available in multiple languages, with captions, screen reader compatibility, and culturally relevant examples. For instance, phishing templates for Europe may differ from those in Asia to reflect regional attacker trends. Accessibility ensures no employee is excluded or disadvantaged, which also strengthens compliance with accessibility regulations. By prioritizing inclusivity, organizations ensure all staff can participate fully, reinforcing awareness as a universal expectation across the enterprise. Organizations must also weigh the trade-offs between vendor-provided versus in-house content. Vendors provide scale, frequent updates, and polished modules that are easy to deploy quickly. However, in-house content allows for customization, integration with internal systems, and alignment with company culture. For example, vendor phishing templates may need adjustment to reflect internal communication styles. Many organizations adopt a hybrid approach, licensing baseline content from vendors but tailoring sensitive modules, such as handling confidential client data, with internal expertise. The right mix depends on resources, culture, and risk appetite. Budget and resource planning must be realistic. Awareness programs require investment in content production or licensing, learning management systems (LMS), simulation tooling, measurement platforms, and periodic content refreshes. Staffing costs for program managers, instructional designers, and SOC support must also be factored in. For example, Simulating 10 phishing campaigns annually requires both content and analyst capacity to review and respond. Underfunded programs risk becoming compliance checkboxes. Allocating dedicated budgets ensures continuity and scalability, signaling leadership commitment to awareness as a strategic initiative. Legal and regulatory alignment is another pillar. Training programs must map content and attestations to compliance obligations such as PCI DSS, HIPAA, or GDPR. For instance, GDPR requires staff handling personal data to receive privacy training, and auditors may request evidence of completion. Training must therefore include attestation mechanisms and store records as audit evidence. Aligning awareness with regulatory requirements ensures programs are not just educational but defensible, strengthening the organization's compliance posture while simultaneously reducing risk. Sustaining momentum requires consistent visibility and reinforcement. Programs should release new content on a regular cadence, celebrate staff who demonstrate positive behaviors, and use executive communications to reinforce importance. For example, quarterly updates from the CISO highlighting progress in phishing report rates can keep awareness top of mind. Recognition programs, such as digital badges for quick reporters, foster engagement. By keeping the program dynamic and visible, organizations avoid stagnation and prevent awareness from being viewed as a one-off event. Continuous improvement transforms awareness programs into living initiatives. Quarterly reviews should retire stale modules, promote interventions that demonstrate success, and close gaps identified in incident reviews or simulations. For example, if phishing report rates stagnate, new modules or simulations may be needed. Continuous improvement ensures programs remain adaptive, aligning with evolving risks, employee feedback, and business changes. A static program quickly loses credibility. A responsive program remains valuable year after year. At scale, governance ensures awareness remains strategic and aligned with business risks. Organizations should maintain an accessible program catalog, with owners assigned to each curriculum item. KPIs should be tracked in a governance dashboard reviewed quarterly by executive sponsors. Sponsor reviews help secure funding, highlight alignment with risk priorities, and reinforce accountability. By embedding awareness into governance structures, organizations transform it into a mature, measurable, and sustainable function that evolves with both threats and business needs. Thanks for tuning in to the Bare Metal Cyber Prepcast, your trusted source for cybersecurity news and insights. Remember to subscribe at baremetalcyber.com so you never miss an update. And visit cyberauthor.me for best-selling cybersecurity books that equip you with expert knowledge. Until next time, stay secure and stay vigilant.